Okay, what is up, traders? What's up, tycoons? Super excited for today's video because we're going to be talking about crypto. Now, the Bitcoin ETF was initially a little bit of a sell the news event, but we've got to talk about the halving. Okay, the Bitcoin halving is going to be the next big catalyst for crypto and for Bitcoin itself. We'll also take a look at some cumulative flows into Bitcoin, and then we'll take a look at the Bitcoin monitor right here. All right, and break down what it is that we're paying attention to. Of course, we're going to give you guys a nice technical analysis on the daily time frame for Bitcoin. We have a nice inverse head and shoulders forming right here, which is bullish. The altcoin performance has done really well. Okay, we broke through our inverse bump and run, and now we're bull flagging after holding the key critical levels that we mentioned the last time we covered the altcoin performance and the altcoin sector as a whole. We'll take a look at some individual altcoins such as Flare. Okay, Flare is absolutely raging right now, up 50% on the week. And then we'll take a look at Chainlink here as well. So be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. But as always, the content provided on this channel is for informational and educational purposes only. So be sure to read through the disclaimer. All right, and I did start a completely free newsletter for you guys called Investment Intelligence, giving out free valuable finance content and free trade ideas as well. I'll try to sprinkle in 1 to 2 free trade ideas in there, and this is what they'll look like. You guys can go back and review the website, again, because it is free, and check out some of the previous newsletters and how well a lot of those trades have went. And it's because I focus on quality over quantity. So I'm not spamming you every single day with 5 to 10 different trade ideas, trying to brag about 1 or 2 that work, but rather looking for high quality setups, identifying high quality setups, and explaining to you guys, a lot of the things I'm using to identify those setups. And then hopefully you guys can learn how to identify your own high quality setups after reading a few of them, right? You can see RTX was one of the recent ones. People in the Discord, mentioning that they're up 88% on that. It actually went up a lot more. All right, you can join the Discord. It's only $10 a month, all right, and you can get in there and see all my different analysis, all the different trade ideas. These are some of the profit screenshots from the last week or two. You can see many plays hitting triple digits on the gains, and all over the place. It's a really great environment, and a good place for beginners to start learning. And even if you're more advanced, you'll definitely enjoy it if you're more advanced as well. So sign up for that. It's $10 a month. Link is in the description, or you guys can sign up for the newsletter. That's completely free. Now let's talk about the halving effect. So, based on just simple supply and demand mechanics, right? Each time that we have a halving, if demand stays around the same, right, and demand may even increase as we now have the Bitcoin ETF and different things like that. There's been a lot more regulation coming to Bitcoin, due to things like what happened with FTX and many other things. And now it's starting to gain a lot more institutional attention, and that could create further demand. And so with the Bitcoin halving, you're reducing the supply. And so simple supply and demand mechanics generally lead to a price increase in Bitcoin, right? You can see the first halving, okay, nice increase in price. The second one, nice increase in price. Third one, nice increase in price. And yet again, we've got another Bitcoin halving fast approaching. So, after the initial Bitcoin ETF sell-off, it was a little bit of a sell the news event as people were piling into it ahead of that. We've already started to see price rebound. We'll break down the chart for Bitcoin, and it's got a very nice setup here at the moment. But let's take a look at some flows, right? So this goes back to January 19, and we're taking a look at the cumulative flows in all Bitcoin funds and then gold ETF holdings. So you can see gold has really just been tapering off, right? We're continuing to see gold go down. And Bitcoin, meanwhile, saw this massive surge, all right? And then it kind of leveled off. But here recently, we've seen a massive increase. Now, that's because of the Bitcoin ETFs. But if you just look at the overall trend, this shows you guys that whole theory that Bitcoin is more of digital gold, really has some argument to it and has some merit to it. That's where you're seeing all of the flows go. You're not seeing the flows go into those gold ETFs. And maybe a lot of the gold bugs actually own gold itself, and don't buy gold ETFs. But if you're taking a look at this, all right, this is pretty impressive, and this is a good sign for Bitcoin, right? And we just continue to see Bitcoin funds continue to get more money versus something more traditional, and like gold is really just seeing nothing but outflows, or the inflows are decreasing, relative to what they were in the past. And if you look at the Bitcoin monitor, This is from JP Morgan, their Bitcoin position proxy based upon open interest in the CME Bitcoin futures contracts. We've seen a massive push in that, right? Heading into January 2024. Now, of course, it cooled off a little bit, right? Once we got that ETF approval and once the ETFs launched. But I mean, this looks like it's bull flagging to me, if you ask me, right? And, this is another good sign, right? We've seen a dramatic shift in sentiment in crypto via this Bitcoin monitor back from just a year ago, right? If you look at January 2023, it was at some of the lowest levels that it's been, and now we're seeing a really strong resurgence, and we could continue to potentially even push even higher. So when we take a look at our chart for Bitcoin on the daily time frame, we're seeing some nice setups here at the moment, and we're going to see how these things develop. So we've got a left shoulder right here, we've got a head, and potentially this is going to be a right shoulder right here. Now, we'll see if we hold above 41,850. All right, that's where we bounced. That is our 38.2% retracement. And once you retrace to the 38.2 and bounce there, that's very indicative of a strong uptrend. Okay, but we do have room to pull back and still be bullish. We can pull back to 41,232 and 4609. Those are going to be your 50% and your 61.8% retracement levels. Altogether, these three are going to be the most common and well-respected retracement levels. Remember, nothing moves in a straight line up or in a straight line down. You get a move up, retracement, continuation of the trend, or you can get a move up, and if you retrace and start to consolidate and break through those retracement levels, well, that's how you can spot a reversal. So that's what we're doing at the moment. We had the strong push up, we retraced to the 38.2, and we've started to bounce. If we hold above this, that's going to be indicative of a strong trend right here, and it could have this inverse head and shoulders play out. Now, that would take us up to about 47,000 to potentially 49,000 on Bitcoin. Now, ultimately, if we break through the previous highs here, 49,000, we're going to be looking at 51,879 is going to be your next price target, and then ultimately 55,500 is going to be your next price target. So, these are going to be your three bullish price targets to the upside. If we can break, our most recent highs and basically get above 47,000, this is where we're going to be targeting. And then when it comes to major support levels, you want to see us hold these three levels that we just went over. If we flip 40,609 to resistance from support, most likely we're going to be getting a full retracement back down to 39,000. Right around that area. So for now, the setup is there. The setup looks clean. We'll see how it develops over the coming days and weeks. But when you take a look at the altcoin performance, this is really, really great. Now, I haven't covered the altcoin, space as a whole in a few months, and so we're just doing a nice little update. And what we did was we identified the inverse bump and run right here, which, that's one of my favorite chart patterns. All right. I really started using that in 2023, and it's been very, very nice to me. I definitely like that pattern. It's indicated by the prevailing downtrend that we have right here. Okay. And then you get an aggressive bump down in the price. And once you break through that bump, okay, then you get the run. And this is the run right here. Now that run has now turned into a bull flag, right? And so we're getting bull flag, a healthy bull flag consolidation here at the moment. When you take a look, you have the flag pull, and here's the flag price action squeezing. And ultimately, we're going to be looking to see if this can fire up to the upside. That would be a really good sign. But for now, we're just waiting and looking for some confirmation. We did a really great job on a macro level of, old supply, old resistance, became new support over here. And then what did we do? Well, we held that key zone very, very well. This was a really good sign for us, and we did that very well, played out the inverse bump and run, and now we're bull flagging. Can we potentially get another move to the upside in the altcoin market space? Yeah, it's very possible, especially with the halving coming. That could introduce more interest and more exposure to crypto as a whole, and therefore potentially helping out some of the different altcoins. Okay. So one altcoin that I like is Chainlink, right? And what we've got is some Wyckoff up here. And essentially we're at phase 3 right now, potentially here. All right. In phase D, we're at 3 right here. And, this is the area where you're looking for that bull flag consolidation. Remember, when we go to the altcoin market space, it looks like we are in bull flag consolidation right here. Phase D is going to be that strong move up. And then you have the consolidation, you have your bull flag. And then phase E, number 4 right here, is going to be that breakout. And that's exactly what Chainlink looks like right now, right? You have, phase B over here. You have phase A is the move down, right? Phase B right here, right? And then we've got phase C, which is going to be the spring. This is basically a liquidity grab for the large move to the upside because there wasn't enough liquidity right here. So they had to stop out some people, liquidate some people, gain that liquidity for the large move to the upside. And now we're in that phase D right now, looking for phase E to come through. This looks pretty good, right? This looks like a really great setup. Another one is going to be Flare. Okay, ticker symbol FLR. This coin has just been moving, guys, moving. And we just came up and tapped the 61.8% retracement level. Remember, we talked about those three key and most common, well-respected retracement levels, the 61.8, 50, and 38.2. And we said how you use them to identify trend continuation or trend reversals. And so if we take our highest price wick up here, okay, and connect it all the way to the down, you see that we've come up and we've made a 61.8% retracement. If we can consolidate around these areas and break through that 61.8% retracement, which is going to be 0.034 on Flare, then we have really good odds of getting a 100% retracement back up to 5 cents. And what's really interesting is above 5 cents, there's a huge fair value gap, meaning that there's basically no structure in between here, and we could see this thing move very rapidly, potentially back up to 8 cents. Now, there's lots and lots of work to be done before we get to that point, okay? And we're just identifying some of the key setups, some of the key things. If you were to even just draw a trend line right here, you can see that, hey, we're potentially trying to break out of this trend line. Okay. And at which point maybe here we would look for a little bit of a break and a retest. Okay. So, we're getting the breakout. Maybe we come back down, retest, right? And then we break out. And again, that's that retracement, consolidation, breakout, right? So we're seeing lots of confluence for potential setups in different coins, in Bitcoin, in altcoins. And these are some of the ones that I think you guys should pay attention to and look at how they develop. There's a nice Kardashian bottom here, nice rounded bottom, and getting a strong push to the upside. Oftentimes, these are signs that something has bottomed out and is potentially trying to start a reversal. So we'll see how these things develop in the future, but they all look pretty good to me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to sign up for the Discord so you guys can get all of the different trade ideas and analysis that I post. January 13th, we're talking about DKNG with the falling wedge. And, in less than a week or two afterwards, it ran up over 20%. You can see some screenshots from, some of the different profit plays that we've been in the Discord. It's only $10 a month to get in. You can sign up for that using the link in the description, or you can sign up for the newsletter. That's completely free. You don't even have to sign up for it. You can just go to the website and check out the stuff there as well. And if you want to get those sent to your inbox, you just subscribe on the page there. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one.